Hello and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars Unbox, Unbag and Build per bag. This time I'm here with set 75304 Darth Vader Helmet. It was released on the 1st of May 2021 but was available for pre-order since late March, shipped late April to be arriving in time for May 1st. So basically it's kind of up in the air. Some people got it early, some people didn't get it early, some people got it in the middle of April. I mean, it's just all over the place. It has 834 pieces, is rated ages 18 plus, and as per usual with the Helmet series, has no minifigures. It retails at €69.99 in euros, €59.99 in pounds, and $69.99 in dollars. So here we have Vader's installment in the Helmet series line that LEGO started in 2020, bringing the total lineup to 5 helmets. This set's leaked images gained mixed reviews, with most critical comments centred around the eyes, mouth, and studded exterior as opposed to tiled. One would wonder why Vader wasn't in the first wave of helmets, being probably the most iconic helmet ever, but they've finally added him, making a lot of people happy. Released with the Scout Trooper helmet and the pseudo-UCS Imperial probe droid, this is a nice addition just in time for May the 4th, 2021. So just giving you a look at the rest of the box. Now you'll see the profile view of Vader there from the side, some greebling down the bottom, helmet collection written just plain. I like the nice mature style box art there. You'll see Darth Vader there as well on the side. You see a little rip there that wasn't supposed to be there and I don't think it was there earlier. On the bottom of the box you'll see your typical small print. On the top of the box then you'll see Darth Vader instead of Darth Vader or whatever. There's like memes about that everywhere, that it was supposed to be Darth Vader, which is actually the French version of his name. But anyway, getting on to the back of the box then, you will see some reference images there to cross-reference the set and the real-life thing. You'll see the helmet from a different angle, and you'll also see the size of the helmet there as well. And from the back of the box to the unbox. Now, one thing I will say about these black boxes is, that's just a full chunk of Lego there. One thing I will say about the black boxes is that there's an awful glare off them whenever you're recording. But yeah, let's get all of this stuff laid out and see what we got. So as you see in front of you here, we have 5 numbered bags and an awful lot of plastic. Like, a lot of plastic. Like, look, this bag is huge. There's like so much plastic in it. I don't think there's any need for that much plastic in the bag. That is or isn't... No, it's not a good thing. There's no is about it. That's not a good thing. But yeah, we see 5 numbered bags there. We see a sticker sheet of 4 stickers on it. Pretty small sticker sheet. I almost didn't see it there. We also then have one instruction book. Seems to be fairly standard. But yeah, let's get into the build. So in bag number 1 we have a nice teal brick separator. It's a little bit more uncommon than the rest. We have one orange bit here. It's 1x6. I thought for a second it was that 1x5. Otherwise, really nothing. We can see literally just the base here, and I'm assuming the base connects up round on the top rather than square on the top. I could be wrong, but definitely looks like just the base, I'll be honest with you, because it has these bits typical for the Helmet series bases, these bits and these here. In the small side then, we have one small bag in this set. We see some teal 1x2s, and there's 24 of these in the set. I checked the back of the book, so that is kind of interesting. Apparently teal either was or is a rare colour, so that is nice to see there. Otherwise, we got standard pieces there, to be honest. There's nothing really too wild or crazy there. I think we are probably going to make a little bit of the head as well, because I know none of these are really involved in the stand for it, so we probably will make a little bit. And at the start of the instruction books you'll see the typical little bit about Darth Vader that comes with the helmet sets, but I would have expected, because he's like one of the most iconic villains of all time, I would have expected a little bit more, but okay, let's get on to the build. And at the end of bag number 1 we have the base. Now the base is actually done a little differently here than usual, and also the kind of this part as well, the connecting part is done a little differently, because the helmet seems to start much lower down on this one. But we also have a little bit of the helmet done here as well. Nothing to really write home about yet, fairly standard stuff so far. We also have used that orange bit right there. We have some spare pieces here and used one sticker so far, but yeah, let's get on to bag number 2. In bag number 2 then we see pieces wise nothing really too interesting. We do see this piece, which I haven't personally seen in a long time, but that is neither here nor there. But the main kind of focus here is the fact we got purple. I mean, that lavender. The one thing I notice about this set is for an all black set, it's damn colourful. We see some lime green pieces there as well, some blue pieces. Yeah, some crazy kind of colour schemes there for some reason. We also see this half one again. I seen that recently in another set. We see, for some reason, a ball joint, but you know, getting these kind of angles on helmets, they kind of bring new techniques to the table. We have two small bags in here and more colours. We have orange and teal, we have red and green and blue and like yellow for an all black set. This is one of the most colourful sets I've gotten in ages. Parts wise, however, there's not an awful lot of interesting kind of pieces there. We do see a black, is it like an ignot, is that what they're called? And yeah, some kind of strange enough colours more so than anything else. I think the pieces are quite, you know, normal enough to see there. But yeah, let's get on to the build. Found an interesting technique here. So you know the typical studs there with the holes in the top of them. So you made this thing, right? And that turns into this. So you stick that upside down on the hole there. And you can kind of build on top of it then, like upside down. So that is kind of like interesting. That's a very interesting technique there. At the end of bag number 2 then we have a little bit more of the mouth done there and a little bit more of the bottom of the head done. Some of the inside and some of the skeleton and the structural parts on the inside here as well. A little bit back here, not sure what that is going to be yet, but you know, it's still obviously not finished. Standard enough stuff. I did show you a nice little technique there, but otherwise, yeah, fairly standard stuff, nothing too mad. I think there's a flimsy bits on it so far, so this bit and this bit are quite flimsy, but we'll show you that later on in the video. You have some spare parts here as well. We used some more stickers, and yeah, let's get on to the next bag. Bag number 3, then we have more really colourful pieces. Oh my god, I just realised something. You're not going to be able to fit a figure inside. This part had me thinking, like, because there was a window like this in Boba Fett's helmet, but it was much bigger, and it was actually a window that you could essentially take the back off and put a figure in, and that is disappointing. Hopefully the top of the head holds a little chamber. But anyway, we see, again, my point is made again, a completely black set with the most colourful inventory list I've seen in ages. I mean, the pieces, like the types of pieces are usual, they're really common. But the colour scheme, like there's more teal, there's more orange, yellow, green, red, blue. Like, it's an all black helmet. I don't understand. I'm quite happy though at the same time because I love all of these colours, don't get me wrong. But it's just kind of funny to see them all. But yeah, as you see here, the types of pieces are fairly standard the whole way through, but the colours are a bit wild. Why is this happening? It's told me to put it down through here and click it into that. Like, what's going on, Vader? This build just keeps getting more interesting. Look at this colourful mess underneath this. You know what this is? And you know what this is? This little pole here that I asked what it was earlier on. What? LiQWYD, what are you doing? That's so weird. I mean, this build just keeps on surprising. So even more weird tactics and techniques and stuff. And we got one of these studs with the holes in it again, and that's going to go, it's going to slot in there on that pole, like the green one there, sticking up the way, and which gives it a good bit of security there, which is actually really nice. I mean, there's some cool techniques in this little build. So at the end of bag number 3, with all those little cool techniques in it, it still is looking quite dire for the hollow inside and for the little Darth Vader figure I had planned to put in there. However, this, maybe, maybe there's going to be a space in there for a figure, you know, because his helmet kind of, I mean, a boy can dream. Let me just believe it until I build it, and then what have you. Otherwise, it's fairly just a standard, other than all those little techniques I showed you throughout. It was fairly just build up a brick wall, you know, it's just building up the interior frame of it all. Some spare pieces then here. We have also used all of the stickers as well. But yeah, let's get on to the next bag. And in bag 4 then we're seeing some kind of nice pieces like the shield piece here with the studs on it, the curved piece here as well, some nice greens and reds in there, but a lot less colourful than the last few bags. Some big plates here as well. Nothing really that interesting other than that. And in the small side, it seems like we've turned to the Dark Knight over Dark Side, as it looks like we're making a Batman set now with the colour scheme that's involved here. But yeah, again, nothing really too crazy in there. Just a lot of studs, a lot of 1x1 studs and tiles and plates and stuff there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the overview. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 4, we have gotten a lot of this finished off, a lot of the top of the helmet, but that's not hollow like I thought it was going to be. So we're not going to be able to fit any minifigures in there. What can I say? It's a fairly standard helmet build. It's just like loads of little tiles and plates and stuff just to make this kind of studded look on the outside. And then of course, like it's fairly standard stuff, easy enough, simple enough. Maybe a little bit confusing. Just for example, like with where was he? He was back here somewhere. Like all this, just adding these 2 bits on here and then adding, like, it was a little bit confusing there, but like just nothing really too complicated, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? We have 2 spare pieces in this bag, and yeah, let's get on to the 5th and final bag. So in the final bag, we have the only printed tile here. Obviously, you know, if it's the Star Wars Darth Vader plaque thing, we have 2 colors. Well, you know, 3. We have lilac or purple or whatever kind of color that is. We have the dark grey and we have the tan. But then everything else is black this time, like it should be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I said already, I do love the fact the colors are there. But, you know, nothing really that crazy in here or here, to be honest. The types of pieces aren't really that different from what we had. There's pretty much the same over here, and then we have like these little kind of spiky bits there as well in this bag, so that's pretty much the only thing new. But yeah, that'll do it for the overview. Let's get on to the 5th and final build. So at the end of the 5th and final bag, we have the entire thing complete. First impressions, that I don't know if this is supposed to be here. Shannon just pointed out that I might have actually forgotten it somewhere rather than it being a spare piece. But if it is a spare piece in this bag, then this is your spare pieces for this bag. And here is your spare pieces for the entire set. Now, I do think that I've forgotten it somewhere because of the 2 pieces being the same there. But I'd say it might be from a different bag altogether. Now, I just want to show you the back of the instructions here. It's just an inventory list, feedback and win, and then the Star Wars logo on the back there, as per usual with some of the 18 plus sets. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for the build. So based on the build experience alone, this is the whole purpose of this video, so I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to review it properly in another video, which should be linked down below if it is the day after this video released. But anyway, getting on to the build experience, it was fun. It was definitely interesting. Some of the techniques they used to try and get all these little curvatures and stuff was quite nice. I mean, they didn't really get the curvature right back here. And maybe a bit back here. For what they've done, they kind of have stayed true to the helmet series, and they've also, you know, they've done an okay job of trying to get it round, but of course we're building with square blocks for the most part. We are building with square blocks and plates and stuff, so it is kind of more difficult to make a circle out of squares, you know. It's not saying that it can't be done, but I mean, it was a good attempt, I think. Yeah, I really did enjoy it. The one thing I will say about the build experience is that you know from the start that there's going to be a chamber or not in the heads, and there was no chamber in this one from a minifig, so I can't put anything inside it, which is a little unusual for the minifigure, for the heads, I mean for the helmet series. This flaps up, nothing too unusual for the helmet series either. There is parts of the helmet series that move. I think there's parts of the Iron Man helmet that move as well that just maybe shouldn't. And then also actually there was one kind of flimsy bit I wanted to point out, and that's here. That thing there, you can see what kind of brick it is. It's literally just one stud attaching it. You can probably see it. You can see it there, I think, a little better. And that, I think, is not great. I don't like that at all because there's a lot of gap there between that. So that is kind of awkward. This is a little kind of awkward sometimes when you're building, because you just, you hold on to it for stability and you end up pushing this thing off its proper axis or angle, and then it kind of breaks off as well, The stickers are a massive problem with some people because it looks like buck teeth, and I haven't seen that on any pictures online until I seen it in person, and I was like, oh my god, I completely understand. And another thing I don't like about it is they are just not right. They're just not right. I mean, if you look at the box here, they're supposed to be very pointed, whereas on this they're flat to his head now. It doesn't really represent that arch that well. So that is another technique they could have improved on to get a more accurate look for that. But otherwise, I do kind of like some of the techniques. Like, I like the fact that they've gone and done that smooth bit the whole way down there. That's nice. It does represent the kind of line through his helmet quite well. And I do like the studs. Don't get me wrong. I do like all these studs, and I think this is all pretty nice. It doesn't really shape that well, but it does, I think, look nice. Loads of people wanted it tiled off rather than loads of studs on it. But again, it is a Lego set, and I kind of like, personally, the Lego studs showing. It's a good thing, I think, because it is Lego. If you want to buy an actual helmet bust that is like smooth and accurate, go buy a Black Series one or a Diamond Select one or a sculpture of one. This is Lego, so you get what you buy in that case. Then on to timing. If you've built the probe droid, it takes less time than the probe droid. It takes more time than, say, the Scout Trooper bust. I'd say it's a moderate enough time. I wouldn't say it takes too long for a Lego set. You get 5 bags in it, and you kind of build 1 or 2 of them fairly fast, and then 2 of them kind of slow. It kind of levels out. It's a decent enough kind of build time for it. But I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say about the build experience. As I said, I'll get a proper review out. I should be dropping it tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a million for watching my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below if you think there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.